wrestling fans. Not sports entertainment fans. Professional wrestling fans. Professional wrestling. This is it. This is us standing up. This is
the Wrestling Matters Podcast, a podcast that stands up for professional wrestling. Why? Because wrestling matters. So join the revolution, because the revolution is now.
professional wrestling. This is it. This is us standing up.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's 13-14.
Dina, I am the best in the world.
Cause that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold said so.
Ladies, gentlemen, wrestling fans, and yeah, boys and girls too. Welcome to the 93rd installment of the one and only Wrestling Matters Podcast. I am the creator of this podcast and your host, the one, the only, the head Anthony Walker. How are we all doing? Hope we're all well. Hope you all had a good New Year and a good Christmas. And yeah, ladies and gents, normal service resumes here on the podcast. That's right, back to normal. Today's show, we're going to talk Raw, SmackDown, NXT, TNA, and a very good TNA as well, I might add, as well as Ring of Honor, and yeah, ICW too. We might throw them, but we'll throw them all in, because that's what we're all about on this show. We talk about the best in professional wrestling. Also, a few little promotions here and there, ladies and gentlemen. What's to come, what's not to come, what to look out for in your areas, especially if you're in the Middlesbrough area, my hometown, because there's a few things that are going down. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick off the podcast. All of that is to come later on in the podcast, but we're going to kick off with another top 10. Now, it's a very interesting top 10, I must admit. Well, from my perspective at least. It's courtesy of WWE.com. And it is a top 10, like I say. And it's going to be the top 10, I believe it's the top 10 things we want to see, wrestling fans that is, we want to see in 2016. I'm going to give my in-depth analysis to the best that I can in this. And hopefully you guys will enjoy, and who knows, maybe agree too. Now, number 1, I think it goes in, no, number 10. I don't see this really going down, to be honest. And when I first saw this, I actually laughed at it. According to WWE.com, the 10 things we want to see in 2016, I think it's more like they want to see in 2016, quite frankly. But number 10 was Triple H wins the new Grand Slam by winning the United States title. Really? Triple H, United States title. Nah, I can't see that happening. And this Grand Slam thing is a lot of bullshit, if you ask me. I mean, 1 minute he's the Grand Slam title because there's more belts in. He's not the Grand Slam champion anymore. Give me a break. It's a whole different ball game. I mean, Triple H, this guy is a former WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, tag team champion, European champion, King of the Ring winner, the man that held and brought credibility to the World Championship, the old WCW title, when it was in WWE back in the day. You gotta give him credit. He took that belt and made it something. That was until it was ruined by the likes of Rey Mysterio, and the list goes on and on. But yeah, Triple H winning the Grand Slam title by winning the United States Championship. I'll let you think of that one. I'm sure you guys are listening to this ringing, what the fuck? There's a lot of things, going in your mind right now or what you guys think of that. And I could just imagine the comments right now of that one. But anyway, moving on. Number 9 is a diva winning a male championship. Now, if you go to this on the WWE.com, again, I'll leave the link in the description, guys, whether you listen to this on SoundCloud or downloading it off SoundCloud or listen to this on YouTube or watching this on YouTube, whatever the fuck. The thing is with this, for me, is it depends what it is and depends who's getting it, quite frankly. Is it a talented wrestler? Is it a wrestler? Is it a diva that can't work to save her life. But if you go onto this page and look at the beginning of it before it goes to the countdown, before it goes to Triple H winning the United States Championship, that's what people want to see, number 10. There's a separate article that has a picture, and you know what? I'll put it in the thumbnail for you, so it should be in the thumbnail, of Sasha Banks wearing on their shoulder the Intercontinental Championship. Now, Sasha is the boss, and she could probably mop the floor with half the roster, half the Divas roster at least. I, in a way, wouldn't mind seeing that, quite frankly. It depends how it'd be booked, but, it's something to think about, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, if you're giving it to someone who can't work to save her life, or can't bring credibility to the belt, then you're wasting your fucking time. You've got to give it, if you're going to do this, a diva winning a male title, you've got to give it to someone who can bring credibility to the championship just like the males can. Because if you can't, you be wanting to put it on John Cena and having him bring it back up. Because there's one thing John Cena can do, ladies and gentlemen. One thing he can do, and that's bring credibility to a title. No matter what it is. Whether it's the tag titles, whether it's the United States title like he's been doing with the Open Challengers, hell, the Intercontinental Championship, or hell, even the WWE title itself. He can do that. Love him or hate him, he can do that. But that's an interesting one for me. I'll let you guys figure that one out yourselves. A superstar winning the Royal Rumble in his Rumble debut was number 8. Quite frankly, I wouldn't mind seeing that one myself. There's a lot of people making their debut in the 2016 one. Kevin Owens being one of them, and I'm pretty sure Dean Ambrose is the same. I might be wrong on that one, but definitely Kevin Owens, AJ Neville, I'm assuming, and the list goes on. I wouldn't mind seeing that one, to be honest. But unfortunately, guys, if it's going to happen, I don't see it happening in the 2016 Royal Rumble. I see this happening maybe in future Royal Rumbles, because we all know who's going to win the Royal Rumble if you've seen it Raw. I'll get to that later on in the show, but I'll give you a little hint. Roman Reigns has been forced to defend the championship against 29 other guys in the Royal Rumble match. This has been the first time the WWE title is on the line in a Royal Rumble match since 1992, although it's the first time someone's defended it in the Royal Rumble, because in 1992 it was vacant. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I just don't see it happening this year, quite frankly. You might want to change that to 2017. Number 7 was Dean Ambrose breaks an Intercontinental Championship drought. Now, I'll explain this in gory detail, quite frankly. I believe and I predict 2016 is going to be the year of Ambrose. Dean Ambrose wants his time with the Intercontinental Championship to resemble the great reigns of long ago. It's a tall task considering how many superstars are chasing after the title. No superstar has been the Intercontinental Champion for longer than 300 days since the Honky Tonk Man, the legendary run in 1987. Ambrose is the perfect superstar to break that drought, considering he's one of the 5 superstars to hold the United States Championship for more than 300 days. In its 40-year history, his tactics may be unusual, but Ambrose knows how to keep a title, which is true. Despite the fact in his US title run, I believe he only defended the belt 3 times. That's why they put the belt back on Cena. Think of that. A Hall of Fame diva returns to the ring in 2016. That's number 6. Quite frankly, I don't even want to see this one. Hall of Fame diva, Trish Stratus, maybe Lita. I don't know about that one, to be honest with you, and I won't go into any detail. I'll let you guys figure that one out yourselves, but do I want to see a Hall of Fame diva back in 2016? I don't think so. Undertaker competes in a casket match. It's been 7 years since has been a casket match, so I wouldn't mind seeing that one. It'll be, depending on who it will be against. Hell, better yet, put it at WrestleMania. Undertaker versus whoever. It would have been John Cena since he's injured. So Undertaker against whoever. Make it a casket match. I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be honest with you. Something very interesting to think about. A woman joins the Wyatt family is number 4. Now, I'm dying to see this Sister Abigail. Who's going to be Sister Abigail? Who's going to play the part of Sister Abigail? So I definitely agree with that one, because all Bray Wyatt talks about in his promos and stuff is Sister Abigail, and his finishing move is Sister Abigail. So as a wrestling fan, you're thinking, who the fuck's Sister Abigail? Where is Sister Abigail? You know, so a woman joins the Wyatt family in 2016. Let's make it happen. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Number 3 is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion versus the NXT Champion. That would be interesting. Will WWE put that on a pay-per-view? Probably not. Probably not. I hope they do, but I highly doubt it, to be honest. I would probably think they would put that on maybe a Raw show. Or even SmackDown. Or hell, put it on an NXT event. Put it on an NXT takeover. That will boost NXT in a hurry. But yeah, I'm down for that. WWE World Heavyweight Champion against the NXT Champion. Sign me up. I'll watch that one. I'll definitely watch that one indeed. The Roman Reigns teams with The Rock as number 2. That was number 2. Well, since The Rock is back at WrestleMania, why not throw that in there at WrestleMania? But let's face it, The Rock is going to be back at WrestleMania. I see a Triple H versus Rock at WrestleMania. Now it's back. And hell, they give their slice of that last year, even though they were trying to make it a mixed tag match and have it Triple H and Stephanie versus The Rock and Ronda Rousey. But since Dana White will not let Ronda Rousey compete or let her go, you know, it's going to have to be, for now at least, a Triple H and Rock match. But yeah, and I can't see this happening at WrestleMania. Maybe, I don't know, maybe SummerSlam. Let's do it for SummerSlam. The Rock, Roman Reigns versus teams with The Rock at SummerSlam. Because it's not going to happen at WrestleMania, because Roman Reigns is going to be in the main event at WrestleMania defending the WWE title. You could see it a mile away. And number 1, John Cena clinches his 16th World Championship. Do we want to see that, ladies and gentlemen? To be honest, we should have seen it at SummerSlam last year, which I have on DVD, which I need to watch just to see what the reaction was. But thanks to a certain guest host, he put an end to that. But he paid for it the following night on Raw with an FU. I'm not even going to mention his name. So, do I want to see it? You know it's going to happen, whether you like it or not. It's just a case of when it's going to happen and how. And that about wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen, for that. And the part, I will put all the links to this, and you can see for yourself this in the description below. If you're watching this on YouTube, or you're listening to this on Soundcloud, or downloading it on Soundcloud, whatever, all the links to it will be in the description below. So be sure to check this out. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of part 1 of the Wrestling Matters podcast. And I'll be back in part 3 right after this Raw audio, because the Raw audio of the Raw review is next. And I'll be back in part 3 with SmackDown, NXT, ICW, Ring of Honor, and TNA. So stay tuned, guys. A lot to get through on the Wrestling Matters podcast. If you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, why not check out their Facebook page at facebook.com/WMPodcast and like the page and show your support to the podcast that stands up for professional wrestling, the Wrestling Matters podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? It is me, HEAD, back with you for another Raw review video. And boy, oh boy, have I been busy. That's all I've got to say about that. You know, my t-shirt right there. Macho Man Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat t-shirt right there, ladies and gentlemen. Bought it in red. The person knows who we bought it, right? It's the WrestleMania 3 match from Mania 3. And anybody with a brain will know this match stole the show. Tell that to Al Snow, though. But anyway, in any event, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Raw review today, ladies and gents, and I've also got some thoughts to talk about. Because it seemed, breaking news, WWE has signed not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4, that's right, 4 of New Japan Pro Wrestling's top stars. I will talk to you about that a little bit later on in this video. But let's get to what we are here for, ladies and gentlemen. What the title on the marquee says. It is the Raw review, ladies and gents, from San Antonio, Texas. Kicked off with Roman Reigns confronting Stephanie McMahon, which didn't come down to much. But match-wise, it kicked off with Kevin Owens and Adrian Neville. Non-title. Anyway, no, sorry, I just got thingied out there. Adrian Neville and Kevin Owens rematch from last week, and Kevin Owens got his receipt, ladies and gentlemen, in a good match. And Kevin Owens got his receipt, like I say. Dean Ambrose, though, was at ringside. And let's say Dean Ambrose got his payback on Kevin Owens. Because after the match, Kevin Owens couldn't handle himself with a victory, and he goes and grabs Adrian Neville, goes to powerbomb him on the apron, did not do that. Ambrose puts a stop to that, and just like what Kevin Owens did to Dean Ambrose last week, Ambrose does exactly the same this week and puts him through the announce table. So, will we see these two compete at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view? I would probably say so. Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose one more time at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. We all know who's going to be winning the Royal Rumble. More on that later. Titus O'Neil went one-on-one with Stardust in a whatever match kind of thing, and Titus ended up beating him. Good little match, but good. I mean, needless to say, it's just whatever for me. It was just a whatever match. One of them fill-in matches that you just fill in, because Raw's that long and Raw is 3 hours. Oh, yeah, we'll just throw this match in for good things as well, Becky Lynch went one-on-one with Charlotte and got her receipt for what happened before when Charlotte pulled that little wool on her. Becky got a little bit of revenge, and Charlotte couldn't handle that, and she attacks Becky after the match, and yes, Ric Flair was at ringside. Yeah, Daddy was at ringside. Well, this was a non-title match, but this Thursday on SmackDown on the USA Network, it will be Becky one-on-one with Charlotte for the Divas title. To be honest, I'm actually pulling for Becky in that match. I know I said Charlotte. I was glad Charlotte won the Divas title the way she did, but I swear to God, the direction she's gone, with her dad and everything, it's making her look weak. And I don't like it, quite frankly. So hopefully they'll drop the title to Becky and Becky will win the Divas title. I don't see it happening, but I can dream. Ryback and Big Show went into a no contest because for some strange reason, the Wyatt family chose to beat the piss out of both of them. Yes, that includes Big Show too. The Bray Wyatt family, it seems that the Wyatt family are looking to take control of WWE, looking to control it their way. Hence this beatdown. I mean, I swear Big Show was a heel. But like somebody said on the Max Wrestling podcast, heels and baby faces don't fucking matter anymore. It's gone to that point. You can make someone heel, they'll probably still get cheered. But the Wyatt family made a statement, and what's their plans, who knows? Rusev and Alberto Del Rio, who actually are a great tag team, to be fair, and maybe the tag team of the League of Nations, went up against the Usos and beat them. I don't know why the Usos are still tag team of the year for last year is beyond me. And what's the future? I mean, Rusev and I almost said Russo there. Rusev and Alberto Del Rio adds a new dimension to the tag team division. Do I see them being tag team champions? I don't know, quite frankly. It could happen. We'll have to wait and see. Brock Lesnar returns next week to TV. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is back on WWE TV. He returns to Raw next week. What the fuck for? I don't know. But I guess we'll have to find out, won't we? Last time he was about, he bounced around Alberto Del Rio. But, he's back on television now. More than likely going to be in the Royal Rumble. But, we'll see. Social outcasts. You're probably thinking to yourself, who the fuck are them? Turns out to be Adam Rose, Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas. How can anyone put up with Bo Dallas in a group? It's beyond me. And Heath Slater went one-on-one with Dolph Ziggler and beat him. Wow. WWE gets Dolph Ziggler jobbing to Heath Slater. What is this now, the new four-man band or something? It's not the fact that Heath Slater is now a leader of a group, this social outcast, as they call themselves, or whatever they are. And it's not the fact that he's actually in a group, in the same group with Bo Dallas, for crying out loud. It's the fact that Dolph Ziggler jobbed to him. Are we going back to the square one again with Dolph Ziggler? Oh, yeah, he's going back to job. He's going out to job into people. The guy's a former World Heavyweight Champion, former Intercontinental Champion, and let's have him job out to people. What the fuck did Dolph Ziggler do to get that situation is what I want to know. Jesus Christ. Anyway, social outcasts, Adam Rose, Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, and, of all people, Bo Dallas. New Day defeats Kalisto and Dudley's repeat from last week's SmackDown rematch, because Kalisto and Dudley's won last week and now New Day got even. But that wasn't the story of the match, quite frankly, or the story of the whole New Day situation. Because New Day came out to party and they were interrupted by Chris Jericho. That's right. Y2J is back. Now, I heard, and I'm pretty sure I read a tweet saying that he had no plans to come to WWE or no plans for WWE. Maybe he was lying. Why is he back? What is his reasons for being back? Who knows? Quite frankly, we have to wait and see on that. Is he back to be in the Rumble? Is he back to be, is he back to face the New Day and put the New Day over? Not that they need to. What's his motive? I guess we'll find out. But Chris Jericho is back. I mentioned Brock returning next week, and which left for the main event, Roman Reigns one-on-one with Sheamus in what was actually a good match, despite the fact that Mr. McMahon was a special guest referee. And for some reason, somehow, Roman Reigns got the victory. Is it me? Now, before I get to the predictable part, is it me or is this Roman Reigns versus Vince McMahon turning into Austin McMahon? A poor man's Austin versus McMahon is what I'm saying. I might be wrong, but everybody has an opinion. Everybody will have an opinion on that, I'm pretty sure. Really, Roman Reigns retains. Stephanie tries to get involved, doesn't work, and Vince McMahon gets speared and that, and Roman Reigns manages to come out with a victory. Kind of copy of what Austin when he faced Dude Love at Over the Edge in '98. Same situation, manages to get the victory. But again, that wasn't the story. The Royal Rumble 2016, ladies and gentlemen, has the prospects or the possibilities to be probably another shit Royal Rumble. Because I'm not going to lie to you, the previous two Royal Rumbles, in many wrestlers' mind, I would say the one in 2014's Royal Rumble was the worst. But many people believe that last year's Royal Rumble and the one before's was shit, quite frankly. And it seems, ladies and gentlemen, this has the potential, this year's Royal Rumble match, not the actual card, the Royal Rumble match I'm talking about, has the potential to be the shittiest Royal Rumble ever. Because Vince McMahon announced for the first time in where are we now? In over a decade, over 2 decades, in fact. For the first time in over 2 decades, the winner of the Royal Rumble match will be the WWE champion. Now, Unlike 1992, the year Ric Flair won it, unlike that, it's not going to be, it wasn't vacant, but Vince McMahon has forced Roman Reigns to defend the World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, in the Royal Rumble match. So the Royal Rumble match now is going to be for the WWE Championship. Am I the only one that thinks Roman Reigns is going to win that? I don't think so. Predictable, as always. And this is what's missing about WWE, in my opinion. Unpredictability. It's a lot of things nowadays, a lot of companies nowadays. I mean, I can name a few. ICW, maybe Progress, have that. Not a lot, but they have the unpredictability. WWE has zero unpredictability. This Raw was predictable. The Royal Rumble match itself at the Royal Rumble 2016 pay-per-view, January 24th, is probably going to be predictable. I think you might have a best chance of waiting a couple of days to watch the square go of ICW, because I think that'll be unpredictable. I almost said predictable. There's nothing predictable about ICW, believe you me. There might be the odd things, but not as much as there is in WWE. I can guarantee you that. Unpredictability is needed in the wrestling business, and it's damn sure needed in WWE. Because as we all know right now, there is not one person either watching this video or saw Monday Night Raw this past yesterday or this past week, this Raw yesterday in San Antonio, Texas right now, when Vince McMahon announced that match, the WWE Championship of the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns will be in the Royal Rumble, yada, yada, yada. There's not one person thinking Roman Reigns has won the Royal Rumble right now, because we ain't stupid. Us wrestling fans are not stupid, and that's why I'm predicting it right now. Early prediction for the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns to win it and retain his title. They are building him to the point. I have no idea. Now, what left us a patch of who's going to win the Royal Rumble has now left us thinking now who's going to win or who's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania. Roman Reigns will probably be the one. What's going to happen though? How are they going to decide that now? Not only is this predictable, it's borderline stupid, quite frankly, because now there's no unpredictability of who's going to be in the Royal Rumble or who's going to WrestleMania. Basically, if you win the Royal Rumble this year, you become WWE champion, and you're guaranteed a match. You're guaranteed to defend that title at WrestleMania. Question is, against who? Unpredictability. That's what's missing in WWE, definitely. And this Raw was predictable, quite frankly. I'm going to give this a 5 out, actually. It was good, but it was predictable. Absolutely predictable. And I'm giving it a 5 out of 10, a 2.5, maybe a 2 out of 5, if I'm scoring it out of 5. But it was predictable. And you wonder why the ratings are low. I mean, Vince McMahon came back and the ratings were still low. Hopefully, give it time, it'll grow and everything. It'll gradually grow. But I'm not convinced. January 4th, 2016 was a predictable Raw. And it seems that the Royal Rumble match at the 2016 Royal Rumble, January 24th, is going to be predictable. Great. I could just see the heat now. I could just see the comments after that Royal Rumble about getting rid of WWE Network, getting rid of this, get rid of that, boycott the WWE Network. I can just see it now. I can just picture it in my mind, because that's what's probably going to happen. Unbelievable. But that about wraps that up for the Raw review, guys. And I woke up this morning, ladies and gentlemen, to get ready for this. And it seems that breaking news that WWE, although I've read reportedly, but it seems that it's pretty stamped. WWE has signed 4 New Japan Pro Wrestling stars. Now, Shinsuke Nakamura is one of them, reportedly. And it seems, I mean, that was predictable, to be honest with you, because we all knew that Nakamura was on the list for WWE. He was on WWE's most wanted list, and WWE did have an interest in him. But that's not all. It seems to be. Because it seems to be that they've also signed 3 members of the Bullet Club. Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows. Yep, Doc Gallows might be returning too. Seems to be returning to WWE. Fake Kid, Festus. That's all I'm saying on that. And it seems everybody's dream has come true. Because there's been a lot of wrestling fans that I've come across that wanted to see this man in WWE. And it looks like they're going to get their wish. AJ Styles. The phenomenal AJ Styles is heading to WWE. Am I, for one, excited? You damn right I am. Possible matches. Hell, WWE's got a tag team. Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows. That's a tag team. Quite frankly, that is a tag team. And that's another tag team to add to their tag team division, as well as the NXT tag team division too. All 4 men have got dates to figure out first. I mean, apparently Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson have got some dates in February with Ring of Honor. They've been allowed to, abide by them and get rid of them and then start in WWE. Am I looking forward to this? Yeah. And it seemed pretty obvious that WWE have signed AJ Styles, because I saw on Twitter that there was a tweet that I saw on Twitter from, if I could find it, let me just find it here. I've written it down here somewhere. Where are we? It seemed that WWE have signed AJ Styles because at Wrestle Kingdom 10, the Bullet Club, Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, in particular, that's what I saw on the actual the pic. They seemed PWP Nation at PWP Nation on Twitter. They tweeted out, breaking news: Bullet Club has turned on AJ Styles, and Kenny Omega has defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. So it's a case of believing it what he said, but it seems pretty much stamped. AJ Styles, Anderson, Gallows, and Shinsuke Nakamura are on their way to WWE. Am I excited? Hell yeah. Possible matches. Maybe a Finn Balor versus AJ Styles at one point. Some good tag teams in the NXT. Maybe they can go up against Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows. Don't know about Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know where he would fit, but I'm sure he would fit. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Where does that leave the Bullet Club? I do not know. Hopefully they can still be around, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Replacing these 3, Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, and AJ Styles, they replaced Finn Balor, Prince Devitt with AJ Styles. Who can they replace AJ Styles with should they continue? But I think it's time. I think it might be time to call it a day on the Bullet Club. because 3 of their big stars are hitting the WWE. So, and I just can't see anybody replacing. I can't see New Japan replacing them, quite frankly. I mean, they did a good job replacing Prince Devitt, but AJ Styles, Gallows, Anderson, not happening. So I think Bullet Club is invading WWE, from what it seems. But it'd be interesting to see what happens when they eventually do make it to WWE. Obviously, they're going to start in NXT. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I just hope WWE does not underuse them or ruin them, quite frankly. All 4 of them. Not just, and especially AJ Styles. I mean, he doesn't need to be in NXT. He can go straight to the main roster right now. But I wouldn't mind seeing him in NXT because there's some possible matches that will involve him that I would like to see. AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, Prince Devitt. You know, Bullet Club member versus Bullet Club member. The founder versus the replacement. I wouldn't mind seeing that, quite frankly. Yeah, but it's an interesting time at the moment now for WWE, and it's interesting to see how New Japan Pro Wrestling bounce back from this because 4 of their top guys are in the WWE. It's interesting. That about wraps it up for this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Check out my new episode of the Wrestling Matters podcast, episode 92. It is already up on this channel. If you want more of these videos, the only way you get to see these videos, guys, is if you subscribe to this channel, the Wrestling Matters channel as well. Be sure to check out my games channel as well, Games Matter channel, youtube.com/Games Matter channel. I've got a GTA Vice City series starting, some WWE 2K16 content as well as the career mode coming soon. Who else? Football Manager as well. How can I forget that? My Middlesbrough series that I'm doing, Football Manager 2016, as well as other stuff as well. Maybe some live streams if I can get the chance. I've got a few things to sort out first in that respect, but be sure to check it out as well. Also, check out the AnthonyWalker.net. I'm in the process of making a Wix website as well. I've got a few things. I'm creating that at the moment, and that will be up in due time. And until next time, guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching or even taking the time to check this out. If you weren't here on the live stream, don't worry. It's going to be up on the channel. And I'll see you next week. If I don't see you during the week, I'll see you next week for the Wrestling Matters podcast and another Raw review. Peace out. If you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, why not follow the Wrestling Matters podcast now on Twitter at WMPodcast for all professional wrestling news. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 3 of the Wrestling Matters podcast. Hope you enjoyed the raw audio there. And yeah, I'm going to talk about TNA. I'm going to talk about SmackDown in this part, guys. But I'm not going to talk about... I'm going to run through them and give them my critique, if you will, because both shows started on new networks. TNA started on Pop TV, and SmackDown is no longer on the previous network it was. It has now made its debut on the USA Network. So basically, every SmackDown, everything WWE, the 2 top shows in WWE, SmackDown and Raw, are both on the USA Network. Now, I'll start off with TNA, because I managed to see TNA. Finally, thank you God, the World Title Series is over. And it seems in a way we're back to square one in that consent, because EC3 is now the champion. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I'll let you decide. But TNA has a champion. It's EC3. Matt Hardy's heart was broken, so to speak. All in all, overall, TNA was a very good show this week. It kicked off with Kurt Angle, preparing for his retirement tour, and next week on the show he will face Drew Galloway. If you watch the one night only pay-per-view, which I'll be checking out very, very soon, it was them 2 were actually tag team partners going for the tag team titles, which is very odd, but in a way they'd make a great team. Anyway, and it's good to see, and it's also good to see Drew Galloway having his Psychodelic song in TNA, Wish It Away. If for those of you that watch ICW, you'll know what the fuck I'm talking about. So kudos to TNA on that. And also, highlights, now that Tyrene Terrell is gone, it seems that Dollhouse have a new leader, Awesome Kong. From what I saw, I might be wrong, but that's what I saw. Like I said, that's what I saw on the show. And the other highlight is Beer Money's back. That's right, James Storm, who apparently quit or didn't sign with NXT. Apparently he wants to have some fun again. That's why he left TNA in the first place, with the Revolution bullshit that he was doing. It just wasn't him. But he's back to normal, and he's back doing Beer Money. They wrestled at the One Night Only show, Bram and I believe it was Eric Young. Whether they'll be back full time, I don't. But it seems that he is packed in NXT, James Storm, due to lack of money. The money deal in the deal wasn't very good, apparently. That's what I've read. I don't know the full details of that, but yeah, it seems he may be back in TNA. But hey, if you're not having fun, you don't need to be where you are. You know, I mean, you're in a wrestling company or in your line of work, no matter what it is you're doing. If you're not having fun, go. Otherwise, you're going to be stale. That's what's going to be. And if you're not having fun, you know, you're not human. Quite frankly, you have to have that fun. Now, all in all, a great show from TNA. Kudos to you. Okay. Kudos to you, and hope it's a step in the right direction. Now, SmackDown debut on the USA Network was also very good, and it seems SmackDown has taken a new direction, because, well, SmackDown show was headlined by two matches: the Divas title, which Charlotte retained, and the fight, which turned into a no contest between Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. Plus, Dolph Ziggler thinking he was Shawn Michaels on Miz TV. But in any event, okay, SmackDown was a good show. Kalisto even shocked the world by beating Alberto Del Rio. A little help from John Cena. But, yeah, he shocked the world, and he's keeping on shocking the world. And I like what they're doing with Kalisto, quite frankly, because it seems that they're trying to promote him as the underdog. They're trying to promote him and push him like a Rey Mysterio, which is perfect. If there's anybody who should be a Rey Mysterio, it's Kalisto. Adrian Neville? Nah, not for me. But in any event, all in all, both shows were very, very good. Very good indeed. And hopefully it's a step in the right direction for TNA. And hopefully they don't end up back where they were before Christmas this year. And it's also a step in the right direction for SmackDown. Hopefully it goes back to the point of it making it worth watchable, because it hasn't been that good. Hopefully they've changed all that now. That SmackDown's on the network, the USA Network, hopefully SmackDown now could go back to being what it used to be. Difficult, I know, considering the era they're in, but it needs to be back up there where it belongs, quite frankly, as far as the shows go. Now, something very strange happened. I say strange, that might be putting it a bit harsh. It seems that there's been changes in WWE regarding the announce team. Now, Byron Saxton was on Raw. He's no longer, from what it seems, on Raw. He is now on SmackDown. Jerry Lawler's still on SmackDown. And guys, I think at least from what I saw, I think they're trying to bring the heelish out of him. WWE, you can't have a heel and a babyface Jerry Lawler. It just doesn't work. It confuses the audience. That's what I got. I think they're trying to bring the heel out of him, because let's face it, Byron Saxton couldn't be heel if he tried. But it seems that they're trying to do that out of him. But he's 1 minute he's a heel, the next minute he's leaning towards being a babyface, and so on. There, Mauro Ranallo. I hope I pronounced that right. Former Combat Sport announcer Mauro Ranallo, that's the pronunciation of that. Sorry about that, guys, if I messed that up a little bit. Is now on SmackDown. Now, guys, you're probably thinking to yourself, who is this guy? Combat Sport announcer is what he is. Combat Sport announcer is what he is, and he's done most of the stuff. I think he's done some wrestling over in Japan. He's even done some wrestling himself in Calgary, from what I got. He did some Calgary wrestling as well. He's also done MMA announcing as well. Bellator in particular, for those who remember the fight, Brawl Inside the Cage, he was there announcing it. Not Bellator. Is it Bellator? No. Oh, the other one, the other alternative to MMA. I just realised, is it Bellator? No, it's not Bellator, is it? Strikeforce, that's it. I knew it'd come to be eventually. He was there for Strikeforce. He used to be the announcer on Strikeforce. He is now the announcer and lead announcer on SmackDown. And in my opinion, that's a smart move by WWE, because he's actually very, very good at what he does. A very good announcer. And he did really, really well on his first night as the announcer. And to be honest, if this is how it's going to be, SmackDown might be worth watching again, guys. Maybe not the product, but he brought some things out that previous announcers, lead announcers that I've tried on that show and haven't done. He tells a bit more of a story and brings out the emotion in it as well. I would say this guy's on a GR level, which is very good and what they needed. All in all, a good show, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what SmackDown can bring to the table. However, very interested to see what happens on Raw this week. Who's going to be the announcers on Raw? We all know two: JBL, Michael Cole. I'm praying it isn't. There might be a chance that they might have got rid of JBL. I doubt it though. But it may open the door. Now that Byron Saxton's on SmackDown, it may open the door for Booker T to be on SmackDown, on Raw again. I don't know. We have to wait and see. At the moment right now, the prediction is Raw announced team is Michael Cole, Booker T, and JBL. I might be wrong, and I'm hoping they got rid of JBL. Doubt it, but hey, I can dream, kinda. All in all, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of part 3. And I'll be back in part 4 with, NXT and Ring of Honor. So stay tuned. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Anthony Walker, the host and creator of the Wrestling Matters podcast and a long-time wrestling fan, encouraging everybody to sign a petition to get this man, this little picture in the corner right here, the British Bulldog, into the Hall of Fame where he belongs. There is a long list of people who are not in the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame, and deserve to be in there. This man's one of them. Okay, I have been a fan of wrestling ever since I was a little child, and the fact that this man is not in the Hall of Fame, quite frankly, is a joke. He deserves it, and you can help sign this petition to get him in the Hall of Fame where he belongs. To sign the petition and show your support, go to www.teamdavyboysmith.com to sign the petition and show your support and help get this man in the Hall of Fame where he belongs. Long live the British Bulldog. Let's get him in the Hall of Fame. My name is Anthony Walker. Peace out. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 4th part of the Wrestling Matters podcast. Now, a little bit of an apology to make here, guys. I was hoping that Ring of Honor would be back this week, but it didn't seem it was. So, I don't know what the heck's going on. Maybe they've still taken their break and everything. So not much really I can do about that. And apparently there are some changes being made for the Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor website. So nothing much I could do in that respects, guys. So hopefully I'll have to leave Ring of Honor this week, and hopefully Ring of Honor will be back next week on the program. We're not taking it off. It's pretty hard for me to review something that they didn't have a show for. Like I said, whether or not they're still taking the break or anything, but they'll be back soon. Hopefully next week on the podcast. Now, just because there's no Ring of Honor, guys, doesn't mean to say there's no ICW, because there is. ICW, the 5th episode, I believe, of the Friday Night Fight Club, kicked off with a dominating performance by Polo Promotions against the Toll family. Now, don't get me wrong, Dickie Davis did bring a good fight. He did most of the work, whether his tag partner, Luke King Sharp, spent more time getting his ass kicked than ever fighting back. And I felt sorry for the Toll family at this point, because this was the last time they needed, or the last thing they needed, was to be in the ring with Polo Promotions, considering Polo Promotions lost the tag titles. And it seems that Polo Promotions will get a tag title shot against the 55 upcoming at Square Go January 24th. Now, LT's chat show comes back, and basically it was Red Lightning leading Mark Dallas. He calls out Mark Dallas, leads him into a trap. The 55, Lionheart, Jack Jester, and Co. all tried to beat up the boss, and just as when Red Lightning was about to hit Dallas with the golf club, Grado comes to save the day and cleans house. And then after that, Renfrew comes out, sends a message to Grado, because them two are going to be facing each other at the Square Go. And then Red Lightning books Grado in a match against Liam Thompson for the ICW World title. That is later on in the show. The next thing about that was Kid Fight 1-on-1 with Mikey Whiplash. Now, this was a good, hard-hitting, physical wrestling match between the two. Kid takes the fight to Mikey earlier on. It's just a great hold-for-hold fight is what it was. Yes, there was wrestling involved, but it was more of a fight because it was more hard-hitting than what we usually seen or have seen from Mikey Whiplash in the past couple of shows that I've reviewed, because he's always looking for that British style of wrestling, and he was just in a big fight this time with Kid Fight. And despite the fact that Mikey had Tommy End at ringside, he didn't need him, because he beat Kid Fight with the Zombie Maker, which is the DVD, and gets the victory. And also motioned to Kid Fight that the Legion might be looking for their tag team titles very, very soon. Obviously, when they've done with Polo Promotions. ICW Women's Title. Now, this was meant to be a three-way between Viper, Kaylee Ray, and Nikki Storm. A rematch from, is it Fear and Loathing? Last November, but Carmel didn't want to be left out and made herself known and demanded to be a part of it, and Viper granted her wish. Sami Zayn gets involved in the match, just a fatal four-way match. Four of the best in ICW, two maybe WWE bound from what I've heard. One has already jobbed out in WWE on NXT, but four of the top wrestlers in Britain, dare I say the world, going for the ICW Women's Championship. And a shock was in store, guys, because Carmel, thanks to a German suplex clothesline spear combination, Carmel actually became the new ICW Women's Champion, and shook hands with Viper after the match. They hugged each other, and no doubt Viper will probably want another crack at the title before long. Well, can't be at the square go because Carmel's going to be facing Liam Thompson, and I bet that pissed Liam Thompson off, because obviously Liam was back there getting ready for his title match, and his opponent at the square go just won the women's title. Also, Viper was backstage on the talk, obviously recovering. Kaylee Ray gets in her face, and she attacks Kaylee Ray, and then a bloke attacks Viper, which I am guessing it has to be Stevie Boy. It's a member of the Clique, I know of that, but it had to be Stevie Boy. And Grado and DCT comes in to save the day. Look out for a mixed tag match in the pipelines. Grado went one-on-one with LT, Liam Thompson, and the story of the match was LT was working on the knee of Grado. Apologies if you heard that. And it was just a good match between the two. I mean, Grado's not really cut out for cardio in a way, although he does look good, in the shape that he's in. But all in all, it was a good match, back and forth match. And Grado wins and retains the title with an RK Grado. That's right, RKO to you and I, and retains the belt. Before that match was going to start, it seems that Nikki Storm has kicked Sami to the curb, and after that, Kenny brawls with Lionheart and James R. Kennedy's Muscle, that big monster that he hangs around with. I forgot his name, but you'll know who he is. He always hangs around with him. Apologies if I forgot the name and everything, but he wants a piece of Joe Henry, and he will get Joe Henry next week. Basically, he's called him out for a fight. So, with that being said, guys, that is the end of ICW. 5 out of 5. I'm loving ICW at the moment. And hopefully I can work something out very, very soon between that as well. I'll bring back ICW to the podcast, which I will do. I'm in the works of doing. It's just very hard to do at the moment. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, since there was no Ring of Honor, I'll be back after this with a brief rundown of what happened on NXT. If there was anything that went down on NXT. If not, I'll give some promotions and an outro. So hopefully I'll be back after this with NXT and an outro and some promotions. If not, that's just the way it is. So hope you've enjoyed the podcast so far. Stay tuned. I'll be back after this.
Be sure to listen to the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast.
What?
Every Sunday with Kenny Killer and the Galdem Sugar Shugs.
Yes!
With all the news, views, and laughter that you want.
They like jet airplanes. Woo! They like long limousines.
Every Sunday, the Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast on Podomatic, iTunes, and YouTube.
So why don't you choke on that, slap nut?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final part of the Wrestling Matters podcast. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there was no NXT this week, although NXT is definitely back next week with a battle royal for the #1 contendership to the Women's Championship. So all will be well in that, and NXT will be back next week. Also, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick thing here. I might as well get these out the way. Some promotions for you. Facebook.com/Back to the Island, at The Mystery Island on Twitter. For more information about the Mystery Island, you can get tickets to go and see wrestlers. You can get a comic book store that brings wrestlers down basically, and has all that fun. I mean, SoCal Val was up there in January at the beginning of the year, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more on the horizon. And I believe Blue Pants is going down as well. Blue Pants, Carlito will be going there as well. Let me just double check this. February, Carlito will be there. Blue Pants is there March 10th, and I believe Rockstar Spud's coming down February 6th. So, like I said, I've already told you the links to the website. Get more information. There's a 48-hour offer. Buy your VIP ticket this Sunday or Monday via PayPal and get £2 off. That's for Spud, Carlito, and Blue Pants. They're all coming down, so be sure to get yourself into that as well. Like I say, Back to the Island on Facebook, That Mystery Island on Twitter, and for more information or the links, theanthonywalker.net, they will be on there as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to quickly say a big thank you to everybody who has supported the podcast and supported what I've done on the podcast as well. Big thank you to Max Wrestling UK. I'm looking to get some guests on very, very soon, guys, in the coming weeks. So listen out for that. More information will be that on future podcasts as well, and preferably next week. I'm going to get some guests on this week and start the year, to liven things up a little bit. Also, I'll be doing probably another episode with Michael Larkin, and hopefully Michael Larkin will be back on the podcast as well. I haven't heard from him for a while, so all will be revealed on that one. There's nothing beef. There's nothing big going down. He's done his thing with his family, and I've done my thing, and that, it is what it is at the end of the day. We all have our things to take care of. Again, reminder, guys, February 29th, Monday, February 29th, the 100th episode of this podcast will be on the horizon, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be aired on YouTube, my website, what else? SoundCloud as well. Be sure to check that out, soundcloud.com/wrestling_matters_podcast as well. Big thank you to everyone who supported the Wrestling Matters channel as well. And also, guys, I might as well mention this while I'm here. I was at work the other day, my other job that I do, the stewarding job, and I got a hell of an idea from a colleague of mine to do something. I'm considering it because I'm going to do it, but I'm considering how I'm going to approach this. Do I do the whole show, or do I do the whole show, or do I do the Royal Rumble match itself? I'm thinking about doing a podcast on the Royal Rumble match, although I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm trying to think of how I can do it, whether or not I can do it via, do the whole pay-per-view or just do the match itself. So that's Royal Rumble's January 24th, and I might do reactions to the singles matches. I don't know how I'm going to, present that to you or put that out yet. I might just do the Royal Rumble match itself. I don't know. Give my reactions. Whether I'll do it, I don't know if I'll do it via webcam. I might just do a podcast on it. Do it the podcast way, if you will. So, like I say, look out for that. I'll work on that during this week and see how I can, come across and how am I able to present that to you. But all in all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for great 2015 again. Bring on 2016. There's a lot more to come, including the birthday and the 100th episode. So, good things are happening this year, and I can promise you this, guys, I am not giving this podcast up for anything. Not for a full-time job. This is my full-time job, whether somebody likes it. If you don't like it, if anybody else doesn't like that, well, that's their problem, not mine. This has now become my life, and people are just going to have to deal with that and get used to it. And I hope I can bring some more entertaining podcasts for your viewing pleasure as well. And plus, I've got the stuff that I'm doing with Max Wrestling as well. And no doubt I'll probably be on this coming Saturday, Max Wrestling Podcast, because he's been trying to get me on the podcast for a while, and he always gets me at a bad time because I'm always working the stewarding. But I'm off now, the stewarding now, for 2 weeks at least. My next match is January 23rd, so if Daz is listening to this right now, I'm all yours, brother. Next Saturday, if you want to do a podcast, I'm all in. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again, and check out my games channel as well, Games Matter channel at youtube.com/Games Matter channel. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to this podcast. Sorry I couldn't bring you Ring of Honor and NXT because I didn't know they were still on the break, but hopefully it'll all be back next week, all back to normal next week. I'll bring you Raw, SmackDown, NXT, TNA, Ring of Honor, and another installment of ICW. So tune in next week to what a potential action-packed podcast. And until then, my name is Anthony Walker. You have been a beautiful audience. Thank you so much, and goodbye.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Professional wrestling, this is it. This is us standing up.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's 13-14!
Cena, I am the best in the world.
Cause that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold said so.